coming at you from the Richkat Mobile Cigar Lounge, where cigar smoking isn't just a pastime, it is a lifestyle. Joining me right now, I'm going to call him a classic man. We have Mr. Eric Hill. How are you?
I'm tremendous.
You looking snazzy?
Well,
you got your ass caught. You got your spectators on. I see you.
It's that time of the year.
It's that time of the year. All right. It's also that time to talk about cigar smoking.
Yes.
I want to get into not what you do right now, but I want to get into your history. Mm-hmm. You were the manager of Civil Cigar Lounge.
I was the cigar steward. I was one of the managers. I was actually the individual when you came to Civil and you didn't know, you worked with me and you were an expert and you left.
So you basically taught people about cigar culture.
Absolutely. Cut, light, the actual manners of cigar smoking, and also pairing. So there's a way, and people don't really understand this, in this lifestyle. There are certain ways that when you smoke a cigar, if you're talking to someone, where do you blow your smoke?
Where do you? Tell me, because I don't know. I'm a novice.
It's down or away, never direct.
So like right now, I'm like, how does that work? What do you do?
So with that being said, it's pretty easy. Mm-hmm. So when you're actually in the environment of smoking, there are a couple things that we always teach individuals. First of all, the cutting of the cigar should always be, when you're looking at a cigar, it should still have the shoulders, especially with this box press in a V-cut or a torpedo. What I did was I cut just
the tip
off.
Okay.
And now it's able to be ignited. So one of the things you want to do when you're starting to smoke cigars and learn this hobby is that you want to toast the foot. So the cigar is comprised of three components. Mm-hmm. So it has a foot, it has a body, and a cap. Mm-hmm. So
that's a whole little man right there.
Absolutely.
Why are you gonna smoke that man like that? Why are you gonna do that?
It's enjoyment. That's all. It's all for enjoyment. But what you want to do is keep in mind is that you don't really want to light the cigar. You just want to toast the edge. Mm-hmm. That's called caramelization. So basically, and I'll show you in the social setting. So now the cigar has been toasted properly. Mm-hmm. When you're igniting a cigar, make sure that you're never down here in the flame. You should always be at the top because the heat is at the top of the flame. So you blow on the foot, you have an even burn. Mm-hmm. So now, if we're in a social setting, which we are now, if I were to speak with you and my cigar is burning, I am to move my hand away from you to allow the smoke to continue away. Mm-hmm. But if we're talking and I actually still want to keep the cigar lit, you draw and you turn away because this is our conversation area. So we never really want in a social setting to blow direct. If you're in a setting much larger than 2, it's down or up.
Okay, so you're blowing straight, but you just tilt your head down. Yes. I was trying to figure out, like, how am I going to still look at you? Because I'm a communicator, so I'm like, it's proper manners to look at a person. Absolutely. So I'm like, okay, do I look at you and tilt my lip down? How do I do this?
No. It's more just a body motion. Mm-hmm. It's your personal space. So you don't want to be in a situation where everybody's talking, all of a sudden it's a gray cloud and you're going,
right.
How you doing it?
Right.
So always away from the individual and make sure that you keep your cigar lit because cigars, when you're smoking, like friendship, as long as your cigar is lit, you have a good friend. If it goes out, you didn't like your friend. So keep that in mind. That's just a little saying, always attend to your friend.
I like that. Now talk to me about Civil Cigar Lounge. Yes, it is closed, but what I found so interesting is that cigars is not a big African American industry, so to have a cigar lounge that's African American owned in a primarily non-African American environment, what were some of the challenges and what were some of the benefits to that?
Well,
or rewards, should I say?
I was going to say rewards are better because some of the challenges that we faced was this is an industry that's a very social industry. Mm-hmm. And what you find in this industry is that I'd rather ask you what you're smoking than your name. That's the brotherhood. That's the connection. So when I used to tell folks at Civil, the common thread between our time is this stick right here. So I don't bring a bank book and put it on the table. I don't tell you where I live. All I say is that you're my brother, male or female, because our thread is a cigar. what are you smoking? Because that's the most prevalent part of your growth, is knowing what others are doing.
Okay.
So people will walk in, the first thing they'll say is, I've never smoked before. I don't know how to smoke. So I'll teach you how to cut, how to light, and how to enjoy your first cigar. Hopefully transition you into the hobby and the lifestyle, which we are here now.
Speaking of the lifestyle, you obviously have your own thing going on.
Yes.
Why was it important for you to be a part of the Richkat Lifestyle, and what attracted you?
Again, the common growth between friendship is sharing something you both can enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So Richkat Cigars became more of the extension of the brotherhood we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It's the growth, it's the individuals. The cigar is a great cigar, well made, great flavors. So you combine all of that into this great cigar lounge, and guess what you have? Now you got brotherhood, friendships, and opportunity to continue to grow. So Richkat has always been best for me.
Eric, do you remember your first smoke? Obviously, you've been doing this for a while.
Yes, unfortunately, it's been a long time. 1986 was my first cigar.
Wow.
And it was a Punch Rothschild. And it was my first hand-rolled cigar. Now, prior to that, I was smoking Garcia Vegas, and, everybody will laugh about that because we all kind of transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
But the first hand-rolled cigar was actually a Punch Rothschild. So remember it fondly. So it started me into getting into this lifestyle.
Alrighty, now speaking of lifestyle, you have transitioned from cigars to being the VP of sales for the only. We have to boldface, italicize, and underscore that.
Yes.
The only African-American liquor distributor in the country.
Yes.
Talk to me about that and how you came to it.
Well, that's a great story. The name of the company is Legacy Partners Distribution. We're the only African-American owned and privately held liquor distributor in the country. And part of our brands that we carry, and this particular one is called Driftless Glen out of Baraboo, Wisconsin. Now, everyone asks, where's Baraboo? Baraboo is...
Yeah, because I was like, what you talking about?
Baraboo is northwest of Madison.
Okay.
So it's a very small area, and it's known for one thing other than this brand, Driftless Glen. It's the home of the Ringling Brothers Circus Museum. So
okay.
They're no longer here, but the museum is still there. So
yeah.
We always say, go up to Wisconsin, see some clowns, and have a drink. So the brand we have here, this is one of our major brands. I took the liberty of bringing a few things in that I think would be interesting. I have a double cast gin, and we'll talk more specifically about that in just a moment. But I also have a lemon vodka.
Vodka?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And a 5-year aged brandy. So these are what they call in the industry up-and-coming types of spirits.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've never seen a dark gin. I always thought that gin was light.
Yes, it is. Gin and vodka are light spirits, but this particular one is aged 6 months in a bourbon barrel.
I see.
And 9 months in oak ash. So you get the bourbon darkness, so the sweetness of bourbon on the front of the palate.
Okay. And
then at the end, you get that beautiful floral notes of gin on the end. So really unique to the industry, and it's called double casting or double cast. Mm-hmm. So lemon vodka, just kind of go through this really quickly. Lemon vodka, I have a $20 challenge on this particular bottle here.
$20 challenge, yes. Break it down.
That is, if you have in your possession and can bring forward a lemon vodka that has more lemon flavor than this, I pay you $20 on the spot. I have not lost in 2 years. So that's something that is really, really cool and interesting. However, the last one we have is a 5-year aged brandy.
Okay.
And that brandy actually starts its life in the Bordeaux regions of France. So, Driftless Glen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's a cognac region. So we bring it over as a 4-year product, and we age it 1 year in our bourbon barrels. Thus, you get this beautiful golden, lovely, just rich flavor of this brandy. Normally, brandies are very dark and very heavy, but since this starts with the cognac grape, it's going to be very easy across the palate. So we figured these three would be the most interesting and the great pairing of cigars as well.
So you know your cigars, you know your liquor.
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to show and prove. I'm gonna need you to put your knowledge to the test, okay?
Okay.
And I need you to think fast.
All right.
What would you pair with this Driftless Glen double cask gin?
Okay. So the double cask gin, because of the notes, are sweeter on the front of the palate, and then you get that big, rich, nutty flavors of gin on the back. I would smoke more of a Maduro cigar, the darker, richer note, where all I'm doing now is adding to the caramel flavors of the first portion of this. Now we're going to go over to lemon vodka. Now lemon vodka, citrus can be kind of tough.
Yeah.
So a milder, creamier cigar. So pairing anything is like dancing. You have a partner.
All
Somebody has to lead.
All
So in that leading on your palate, if you're going to something light with a more citrus, then you let the lemon just be the lead and allow a creamier, softer cigar to kind of follow. Now, when you get over here to the 5-year age brandy, now that's where you're right in the middle of your flavor palette. So you can have one of two things going on. A bigger, richer note that'll bring out that cognac grape, or a lighter cigar that's going to allow that bourbon to come forward as well. So just in general, just keep in mind, every time you're pairing something has to lead. So cigar first, which Richkat cigars would be great with any of these products, but especially the double cask gin.
Eric, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but it sure sounds good. I believe you. This man knows his liquor, he knows his cigars, and he rocks with Richkat. Can you tell us how to get more information about your distribution company?
Yes, we are at Legacy Partners. Well, legacypd.com or legacypartners.com. So we're there. Also, too, we're local. We're in Montgomery County stores.
That's awesome.
We're in, bars and restaurants. So we're a brand to be reckoned with. So.
And just to understand, so as an African-American liquor distribution company, you distribute liquor for, well, not just anyone, because of course people have to qualify, but you don't have primarily African-American clients like you have, because I'm thinking Wisconsin, I'm not thinking about Black people when I think Wisconsin.
Yes.
Yes. That's awesome.
So we're actually in DC and Maryland. We're moving into Virginia and going into Delaware. So we have a smaller, we call it owning our backyard. So we have a smaller footprint right now, but we're in larger opportunities. So we're also in Total Wine and More.
That's huge.
So again, we'll have our bourbon and our rye whiskey there, but this is a full line of products. So I have everything from gin and vodka to bourbon and rye. So, please enjoy the product. It's Driftless Glen, but also too, while you're getting a bottle of Driftless Glen, gotta get some Richkat cigars.
Get you a Richkat, right?
Absolutely.
The origin of the cigar band actually started as a trivia question that I would ask at Friday Night Lights. And people would always ask me, well, how did the cigar band become what it is? Well, in the early 1800s, cigar smoking was done by the very rich and the well-off. And women were primarily cigar smokers as well. But women actually wore white gloves when they went out. So cigars were not as refined as they are now, so they would stain their white gloves. So thus, they had to put a band on it. So when you see a cigar band, you'll see your index finger goes on the top and your thumb goes on the bottom. That's so that you don't stain your gloves. Well, as time went on, they said, well, what do we put our name on? So now the cigar band actually represents the brands in which it is. But it started as basically a protection for the aristocrats from keeping their gloves dirty. That's the cigar band's actual history. So it's always fun to know what you have, and you have a cigar in your hand and you say, why is it there? It's there making sure that you don't stain your gloves. So that's it.